My name's Reid and I'm a firearms instructor with PTPGun. So me getting to where I'm at with PTPGun, I actually started as a student, right? So I was in the seat taking my HQL, my Maryland wear and carry, other states for my concealed carry permit. So my favorite aspect with the job as a firearms instructor with PTPGun is simply getting in front of the students and teaching them safe firearms training. There's always these mishaps with handguns that could have been avoided, and always things going on with handguns that shouldn't be, and that's where we come in. That's why I love teaching, the safe aspects of it, to where, treat every weapon as if it was loaded, never point your weapon at anything you intend to shoot, and keep going on. Teaching that is highly important because it travels on with you. So what we teach you is just a stepping stone for you to use to stay safe with handguns, to know your rights, to know the law, and to be prepared with your handgun. Growing up, I never really got into hunting. I did it for a short amount of time, and I had one spike when I was little for Youth Day. But ever since then, I've never hunted. It's always something I wanted to do, but I never had family or really close friends that got into it. So me wanting to get back into it, it's kind of like I'm just gonna wing it and teach myself, right? So I did the field day and the DNR class that you have to take, and I got my hunter safety card and got in the woods and bought a bow and a bunch of cool camouflage to, look cool in the woods even though no one's gonna see me. And surprisingly, I was able to get a 6-point buck with my Matthews bow, which was a big deal. And I get why people are so addicted to hunting, because of the adrenaline rush I got from that was unreal, right? So hunt with a Matthews bow, I still hunt. We're taking this video now because we're still in the rut, and when I leave here, I'm going hunting. Right, so the adrenaline and rush is unreal. I love hunting. It's definitely something I want to keep getting into, and then one day when I have kids, introduce them to that the way I wasn't. That way they have an idea of what to get into. Back in 2013, when I enlisted in the Marine Corps as active duty, that's where I got in touch with the rifle range. So the Marine Corps spends 2 weeks at the range, non-stop safety, non-stop dry firing, and then you get to put everything together at the range and actually shoot. So we were shooting from 100 yards all the way up to 500 yards from different positions, such as standing, sitting, prone, and different techniques that I learned from firearms instructors in the Marine Corps to teach me the right way on how to use my firearm, how to be safe with my firearm and whatnot. But that's where I got started with firearms. And ever since then, I completely fell in love with firearms, safe training, advancing my training with different classes I was taking for firearms. So being a Marine, the Second Amendment really comes back to me and hits home because, it's part of the Constitution, your Second Amendment right, the right to bear arms. I want my right to bear arms, and it's plain and simple. I want it for my protection. That's the whole reason it was in the Constitution. That's the whole reason that people fight for it today. Me being one of them, and the last thing I ever want to see is that right be taken away from me. It's already to the point now where we have to fight and pay for that right to maintain it and show justification on why I need that right, which is completely BS, but that right as a whole is highly important to me because your safety at the end of the day and your life is the only thing that matters, at least I think. And my life included. If I have the right to bear arms and have my firearms, then I have the right to use them. If self-defense were to come up and I need to take those measures, that's what I want to do. And that's why Second Amendment is so important. Citizens need to be capable of their own firearms and not so much depend on others, as in citizens with firearms, because of many reasons. One of them being, if you're at the grocery store and someone pulls a knife or a weapon and tries to rob the place, or they try to carjack you, or they use a weapon on you, do you think that the time it takes for you to call 911, have the dispatcher process all the information you're giving them, and go back to the police and have the police respond, that could be a few minutes by the time they get to you. In some cases, you don't have a few minutes. So if you need your firearm, it's better to have it legally and safely on you and use it than to depend on someone else for your own protection. So as we move forward, I'm getting ready for Handgun 2. I obtained Handgun 1 in the past with Jason McCoy, who's a phenomenal instructor. And he really brings a lot to the table. He lived in St. Mary's, he was a sheriff, he was on the SWAT team, he was in the Air Force, the security forces, to where now he does his own handgun training. So we fly him in, and when I took Handgun 1 course, it was outside for 8 hours. It was about 350 to 400 rounds that we shot for that day, and all different techniques and aspects of widen your ranges of advanced handgun training. So I'm really excited what he's bringing to the table again for Handgun 2, as well as me being a student, because just because I'm a firearms instructor doesn't mean training ever stops for me. So I'm excited to go in Handgun 2 and learn even more in what he's gonna bring, as well as if you want to stand side by side with me in that class, we do have a few spots open. So contact someone with PTP Gun and get signed up for Handgun 1, if not Handgun 2. But you need Handgun 1 for Handgun 2, and come see us for training.